If you tune into this episode today and you feel like you are barely hanging on, like you don't even know how you're going to make it through the day, I want to tell you one thing. It's okay to not be okay. In our grief journey, there's going to be many times that we're going to feel this, whether it's the weight of the grief that feels too heavy for you to be able to make it through the end of the day, or something happens that reminds you of your child and you get hit with a fresh wave of grief. We're all going to go through those times. And so today, I just wanted to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And I want to give you some reminders that can help you keep moving forward when you have these days, when you have these moments. Some reminders that you can hold on to help you keep going. I pray this episode blesses you. Welcome to Unlocking Joy After Grief. My name's Courtney, wife, mama of 6 kiddos, one in heaven waiting for us, and that's why I'm here. In 2017, we lost our 4-year-old son, Sam, and it's my joy to share with you everything this journey has taught me. So if you're ready for biblical encouragement, first-hand lessons, and support from a fellow grieving mama, then let's lace up our shoes and begin walking this road together. Friends, it feels so good to be back behind this mic. If you haven't noticed, it's been a minute since I've posted an episode. I just needed a little bit of time. As you know, grief, it's not this straight line that we're going to walk and everything's going to go exactly how we plan it and how we want it to go. There's ups and downs, and it's like a roller coaster ride. And so I just needed a minute just to kind of focus on me, on my family, on my healing, which, as you know, we will be healing the rest of our lives until we go to heaven and see our child again. So thank you for hanging in there with me while I took a little break, and it feels very good to be back, and I'm excited to keep going and releasing episodes to help you in your own grief journey. So when I was thinking about what episode I wanted to come back with, I felt like this would be a good one because the break I just took was giving myself permission to not be okay. And it was nothing huge, nothing big happened. It was just, I could tell I needed to take a minute to just focus on my own healing, my relationship with God. And I gave myself permission to do that because it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to need a minute. It's okay to need a week. If you need to, a month. And this is a testament to, if you keep walking your healing journey with Jesus, He will continue to heal your heart. Whatever season you are in your grief journey, however long it's been, every time that you need Him, He will be there. If you need to step away, like I did, and just kind of recenter your heart, put your focus back on Him, He is there every time, waiting to carry you, waiting to bring healing to your heart. Whatever it is you need in that moment, He has it. It's in Him. We don't have to look for our healing or an answer anywhere else. It's all found in Him. So if you feel like you need to take a minute, I want to tell you it's okay. That's what I did, but I'm excited to be back. Okay, so let's get into today's episode. Grief is like a roller coaster. It goes up. You can have good days that you make it through the day okay. Then you can have bad days where it is a struggle to get through. And if you're early on in your grief journey, those bad days seem to outweigh the good days. And I can remember thinking after I lost Sam, will I ever smile again? Will I ever laugh again? Will I ever feel joy again? Will I ever be able to make it through the day and not cry all day long? Because when it's early, when that grief is fresh, when that wound is fresh, when the pain is so, so deep, it can feel like that. It can feel like I am never going to feel anything else but this pain and this deep, deep grief. But like I say, if you keep walking with Jesus, let Him heal your heart a little bit at a time. It's not going to happen fast. It's not going to be like, okay, 2 weeks later, I'm good. It's a process, friends. It is a process, but he is there for it. He will never grow tired. He never grows weary. He can handle all your big emotions. He is the person that you want to walk your grief journey out with and your healing journey out with. So today I want to talk to those bad days. Those days, no matter if you're 1 week in or 10 years in, those bad days are going to come. And so I want to talk to you about how are we going to get through those bad days. So before I give you any tips, I want to tell you that you have to give yourself permission to not be okay. Like I said, it's okay to not be okay. I want you to really think about what you have lost, what we have been through. It's so incredibly hard, so hard. I remember thinking before I lost Sam, before any of this had ever happened, when I would read a story about another mom who's lost a child or see something on the internet, I remember thinking, I literally cannot fathom, I cannot imagine losing my child. And you know why I couldn't imagine? Because it's so bad that my brain was like, no, we're not even going to go there. We're not even going to think that. It's like our minds can't even go there. And then when you have to walk through it, you have to figure out, how am I going to make it through this? It's something that's so unimaginably hard that before we lost our child, we couldn't even imagine it. So I want you to first recognize that what we have gone through is so hard. And so when you have bad days, you don't have to explain it to anybody. You don't have to give an excuse to anybody. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have bad moments. It's okay to have moments that you miss your child so much that you feel like you can't make it. Like, that's okay. And I would say normal, having gone through what we've gone through. So that's first, just give yourself permission to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do when you're having these really bad days, allow yourself to feel whatever emotion it is that comes with this bad day. And I talk about this a lot, but it's really important. You don't want to push down the emotions that you feel and try to be brave or try to be strong and not feel those emotions. Because here's the thing, friend. You can push it down. You can push it down. You can push it down every time it comes, but eventually it's going to come out. You can only push it down. Imagine like a cup that you're packing stuff into. Well, eventually that cup's going to be full, and when you try to push one more thing down into it, the whole thing's going to spill out, and it's going to be over something random. So ask me how I know. So it's important to feel the emotions. Give yourself permission to cry, to yell, to sit on the couch and not do anything and just stare into space. Give yourself permission, whatever you feel in that moment. It's okay. Feel it. I want you to face it and feel it. So I have a story on this that just recently happened. At the time of this recording, Mother's Day was this past weekend. And Mother's Day is a hard one for us after we've lost our child. So I went into that day knowing, okay, at some point today, it's going to be hard. And I was okay until I wasn't. And it was after church. Someone had said something to me about Sam. And I always love hearing about Sam. Say his name, right? Say his name. Say my child's name. It's a way to keep them alive. It's like music to our ears. This one time, it was kind of like the last little drop of water that broke the dam, so to speak. And I felt it, and it was just coming out. So instead of being like, oh, I'm in church, I can't cry, I can't do this, I just went and sat down and put my face in my hands and just cried. And my husband just held me because he knew why. He knew why I was crying. And I just let it out. I just sat there and had a good old cry right there in church. And I didn't care who was around or who was looking, because everyone there knows me and knows my story. So if anyone saw, they would know. But I gave myself permission to just feel it. But if you're in a place where you can't just sit down and cry like I did, like if it's not an appropriate place, then kind of go off, go to the bathroom, go to your car, step outside by yourself. Just go somewhere where you can give yourself that space to feel that emotion. But then, and this is something else I always preach, so if you're not new to the podcast, this will not surprise you, but it's equally as important as allowing yourself to feel it. Do not stay there. Do not camp out in that emotion. If you're on my email list, I just sent out an email about this with some tips on how to get through the emotion. If you're not on my email list, I highly suggest it. I send out weekly emails with tips just like this to help you make it through the week. I send you a Bible verse and a worship song just to kind of encourage you. So I will leave a link in the description of this episode to sign up for my newsletter if you're not on there. But just, kind of don't camp out there, because when we camp out in our sadness, it can grow into depression. If we camp out in our anger, it can grow into bitterness. So it's important to feel the emotion. I'm not saying don't feel it, but I don't want you to stay there. So you feel it, and then you work your way through it. Repeat a Bible verse, say a prayer, say the name of Jesus, whatever you have to do. And because he's there, he's with you, he's holding you through whatever emotion that you're feeling. So he's already there. You just have to reach out to him, help him to push you through that emotion, and then keep going. Then you keep walking. When that next wave hits, when that next hard day hits, feel the emotion, allow yourself to feel it, and then you keep going and you keep walking through it. It's an important part of learning to live with our grief, because we'll never move on from it. We just learn to live with it, is allowing ourselves to feel and then learning how to move through that emotion and keep going. Okay, so second tip I have is to find small ways to keep going. Especially in our grief, we can't handle big things, right? Like I remember after I lost Sam, I started thinking about the rest of my life without him, and I was like, "Ooh, no, Courtney, don't go there, don't go there. That's too much. That's too big. I can't handle that. Mentally, I can't even." And I still can't. I don't think about that. I bring it in smaller. I bring it in closer. We have to do that. You can't overwhelm your already overwhelmed mind. So we just have to bring it in and focus on small things, small ways that we can get through our day, that we can get through these hard days. So here are a few small things that you can do when you feel like you've boarded the struggle bus for the day. How can we make it through? So one small thing that you can do is take a deep breath. There is scientific evidence about deep breathing that I won't get into, but if you want to look into it, you can Google it. It is very good for your mind, for your mental clarity, for your physical body. So when you feel that overwhelm start to come to your mind and your heart, I just want you to stop. And bonus points if you do this outside, because fresh air is very good for you as well. But I want you to stop, close your eyes, just pause for a second, connect your heart with Jesus, because like I said, he is right there. He is close to the brokenhearted, right? And I have a whole podcast episode about this. It is actually one of my favorite podcast episodes that I have recorded to this day. I will link it. It's about how close God is to you in your grief. I'll link it in the description. Highly, highly recommend going and listening to that one after this. I want you to just close your eyes, pause, connect your heart to his, feel how close he is to you. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Just real slowly breathe it out. You just do that a few times, and that is a small thing that you can do to kind of help you reset your mind, calm your heart, and be able to take that next step and keep going through your day. Another thing you can do is go take a walk outside. Again, I have a whole podcast episode about this. I'll link below about how walking can play a part in your healing journey. But I love going outside. I love going outside. It connects me to God because that's his creation. That's what he made. And it connects me to Sam. I feel him out there when I go. And it's probably because he's in heaven. That's where he is. And this is God's creation. We feel close to God when we're out in his creation. And therefore we feel close to our child because that's where our child is with God. So if you can just take it doesn't even have to be long. It can just be like a walk around your yard. Or if you have a garden, go check your garden. Just get outside. Take a deep breath when you get out there if you want to. And just kind of allow the peace of God's creation to cover over your heart and your mind that doesn't have peace. And so the third thing you could do, it's a small way to keep going, is to speak truth over yourself. And where do we find the truth? Of course, is in the Bible. And this can be a lifesaver verse. If you have one, this is just a verse that you can use over and over again when you're struggling. I coined it the lifesaver verse because sometimes if you feel like you can feel like you're drowning in your grief. And so this verse is like the lifesaver the lifeguards would throw to keep your head above water. So this verse can literally keep you from drowning in your grief. I have a free printable that lists a bunch of different verses you can use if you don't have one. But you could say something like Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So you could say this over and over again. My hope is in you. Thank you, God, for renewing my strength. Thank you that I will run and not grow weary, that I will walk and not be faint, that you will be my strength so I can keep going. So you just use that verse, turn it into a prayer, repeat it over and over again, and that truth will give you the strength you need to keep going. And the last thing you could do is to play worship music. This was a thing I did very often in the early part of my grief journey, is put worship music on. It changes the atmosphere in your home. It fills your home with His presence when you play music that's about Him, that's worshiping Him. It takes your mind off of whatever it is you're struggling with. You can sing the song, sing the lyrics, put your focus on Him. And that is where He is the source of our strength, right? He is how we make it through. So it puts our focus on, I can't make it through. I can't do this. This day is so hard, into Him. With you, I can make it. With you, I can take another step. With you, I can get through the day. And so that's a very easy way for you to be able to keep going through your day. And the last thing that I want to remind you of, that I've kind of touched on in the other points, but you're not alone. I know it can feel that way. Grief can be very isolating. And so even if you don't have someone physically with you, you are never alone. Never. Not one moment, not one step is He not there with you. He is so close. If you close your eyes and really connect your heart to His, you can feel how close He is to you. He is right there waiting and ready to pick you up when you feel like falling, to carry you when you feel like you can't take another step. He pours out His love over your heart and heals it piece by piece. He's not afraid of your big emotions. He never grows weary. He is there. He is ready to walk every step, every day with you for the rest of your life until you can get to heaven and be with Him and be with your child again. He is with you. So you are not alone. If you feel like you have no one, first thing I want you to do is just know you may not have someone physically there for you, but you are not alone. And the one who's with you is the one you want with you, because you could have all these people around you and surrounding you, which is great. And I'll talk about that in a second. But if you don't have Jesus with you, all those people can do nothing for you. Nothing. They can't heal your heart. They can't carry you through. They can't give you the strength you need to make it, but He can. He is the number one most important person you need around you, because He has the power and the ability to carry you through, to heal your heart. But then I also don't want to downplay the importance of actual people in your life, because sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes that's what you need. This past Sunday at Mother's Day, after I had that conversation with that girl about Sam, I was walking back to my seat and someone was like, "Happy Mother's Day." And they could tell I needed a hug. And they gave me a hug, and it was like, You know how it is when someone hugs you when you're trying to hold it in and you just can't anymore. And so I snotted all over their shoulder and I was like, I apologize. And they were like, it's okay. So sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes you need that person that's physically there. And so if you don't have that in your life, I encourage you to find that. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but here's some places you can look. Look at your local church. If you have a church family, that is the best place to start, especially if they walked with you through the loss. They understand. And so, get involved in a small group in your church. Most churches have those now. It's a great way to get connected and really get to know someone. Start serving in your church. I'm sure there's many different ways that you can serve, whether it's in the nursery or the kids' church or the greeters, if your church has greeters, or if you're you can sing or play an instrument, you can join the worship team. There's ways that you can serve, and that's actually twofold because it gets you connected in with a group where you can build relationships with the other people who are serving in that place in the church, but it also fulfills you. We're made to serve and we're made to give. And so when we can give our time to our church and help in that way, it's a very satisfying thing for our hearts. You can also look for an actual grief class or a grief community that's local to you. A Grief Share has classes all over the U.S. I'll leave a link to their website below where you can go look and see if there's something near you. But you can actually get plugged into an actual grief group, people who have lost, I don't think Grief shares specifically children, but who have walked through a loss of their own. And so getting connected with them, with other people who understand, could be very helpful as well. There's also, and this isn't in person, but it was very helpful for me earlier on in my grief journey. There's a Facebook group called While We're Waiting, and it's full of other Christian moms and dads who have lost their child. So it's a group specifically for people who have walked through child loss, and it is a Christian group. It was very helpful for me to see, I didn't really say much in there. I didn't post anything or comment, but just going in there and reading other people's stories, reading what they're struggling with, but also reading the hope that was in their posts. Even if it was a hard post, we don't grieve like the world grieves. We have hope. We have the hope of eternity that we will see our child again. And so even the posts that were hard, where they were sad, it still had a layer of hope around it. And so I will leave that link in the description of this episode as well. If you're interested in joining that, you could do both. You could plug into someone or a place locally and also join that Facebook group. Highly recommend that as well. So that's it. I want to briefly go back over. I know that was a lot. Can you tell I've been away for a while? Okay. The first thing I want you to do is just give yourself permission to not be okay. Say, okay, it's okay to not be okay. And then once you've given yourself permission to have bad days, it's okay. Here's how we can get through them. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, whatever it looks like, but then don't stay there. Keep moving through it. Second, find little small ways that can help you get through the day. Taking a deep breath, going outside and taking a walk, speaking truth of yourself by picking a scripture to repeat or turn into a prayer and just say that over and over again, and playing a worship song, filling your atmosphere with His presence. And then lastly, remember you're not alone. He is there with you every moment, every breath, every step, every day, every week, every month. He will never leave you. And then also, try to get plugged into some kind of group, grief or not, in your local church, Grief Share. Join the Facebook group for a digital community. But just know you're not alone and you can make it through. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you can. One step at a time, friend. One step at a time. Again, it's so good to be back with you, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Love you, friend. Hi, Mama. I hope this episode blessed you. If so, would you mind sharing it with a fellow grieving mama who may need some encouragement on her grief journey? Also, please take 30 seconds and leave a rating and a written review wherever you listen to this episode. Reading your reviews brings so much joy to my heart, and I love connecting with you in that way. All right, I'll see you here next Thursday for another episode. Love you, friend.